everyone. This is Dr. Sugandha Khangarwag presenting the session on topic atmosphere and geophysics. This is my 7th lecture. With this lecture, I come towards the end of this unit. Now, see here, this lecture is for BSc second year and semester 2. Now, which topic I am going to cover are mentioned in this slide, that is as outlined: scattering, absorption and reflection of solar radiation by atmosphere, moisture and cloud. Before studying this point, we will first see what we have studied in previous lecture. We have studied scale of intensity of earthquake. My expectations are that you have studied that lecture, recording of earthquake and intensity of radiations of earthquake, that is which earthquake radiations are dangerous, which are intermediate, which are weak, and all these. So hope so you have studied this. Now come towards today's first point, that is scattering, absorption and reflection of solar radiation by atmosphere. Solar radiation is virtually in the short wavelength range less than 4 micrometer, as diagram is given in fourth slide. See here, the solar radiation is virtually are the short wavelength range, and the short wavelength range means which is less than 4 micrometer. Most of the solar radiation contains ultraviolet, visible and long wave radiation. Other radiations are also present in small percentage. In solar radiations, the ultraviolet radiation varies from 0.15 to 0.4 micrometer. It will clear by using diagram, and the diagram is mentioned in fourth slide. The wavelength of visible light varies from 0.4 micrometer for violet light to 0.7 micrometer for red light. So you should see these ranges, and we will also discuss that ranges in the diagrammatically also. The long wave radiations vary from 0.7 to 4 micrometer. Solar radiation is first received at the top of the atmosphere, then passes through the atmosphere. As we have studied about the atmosphere, that is the part of the earth, in the part of the earth. So the solar radiation first received at the top of the atmosphere and then passed through the atmosphere. The gases in the atmosphere are transparent to intense solar radiation. The solar radiations, while passing through the atmosphere, are absorbed, reflected or scattered by the molecule, small solid particles such as dust and water vapor. See here about solar vapor. The solar radiations, while passing through the atmosphere, are absorbed, reflected or scattered by gas molecule, small solid particles such as dust and the water vapor. Now see this diagram, which is see the range 0.15 to 0.4 micrometer. See the ultraviolet region. This is the range. Then at 0.4 there is blue color visible region, we can say, and at 0.7 there is red wavelength, and after that means, see here, ultraviolet region means short wavelength region, that is 0.15 to 0.4 micrometer, there is the short wavelength region, and 0.4 to 0.7 we can say intermediate region, and after that there is the long wavelength region, and it may vary from 0.7 to 1.5 and above micrometer. See here, near infrared and far infrared are labeled. Now see this graph. This graph clears your doubt. For ultraviolet ray, so what is the range of wavelength? So that range is 0.15 micrometer to 4 micrometer. For visible, 0.4 micrometer to 0.7 micrometer, and for long 0.7 to 4 micrometer. So see here, this is from 0.15 to 0.4, that is the short wavelength range, and this is called as the ultraviolet region, as we have studied in previous diagram also, that is in colored diagram. After that, from 0.4 to 0.7 micrometer, see here, there is the visible region, that is from violet color to red color, that I mentioned in this band 0.4 to 0.7. And after that, there is the long wavelength range, that is from 0.7 micrometer to 4 micrometer. In previous graph there is mentioned, in previous diagram there is 1.5 mentioned, but 1.5 and above we can say up to 4 micrometer. This is very much easy diagram for your understanding. This also you can compare these ranges with this diagram and that color diagram also. Now what is scattering? See here, this point I have written in this slide point to point. The process of dispersing the radiation in all direction. The process of dispersing the radiation in all direction due to the presence of small particle and gas molecule is known as scattering. Now see the definition, it is very much easy. What is it? Is the process of dispersion, we can say. What we have to disperse? So it is the process of dispersions of radiations along all directions or in all directions due to the presence of. Now how these directions disperse in all direction? The radiation dispersed in all direction, it is due to the presence of small particle and gas molecule present in the atmosphere is known as scattering. The result of scattering is that shaded area of room illuminates where the direct sun cannot be reached. The direction and amount of scatter of isolation depends on the size of the particle. Intensity of scattered radiation is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength of incident radiation. Now see this point one by one, that points are very much important. Particles which are much smaller than the wavelength of light produces scattering of sunlight. Particles which comparatively larger than the wavelength of light do not scatter, but they absorb and reflect the radiations. It means the shorter wavelengths scatter more than the longer wavelength. If you have any query in this explanation, you can ask me, you can chat with me while live lecture today, that is from 3 to 3:45 p.m. or you can WhatsApp me on my personal WhatsApp number. Again, the efficiency, these are the points of scattering. Again, the efficiency of scattering is more when large amount of particles are present in the air. The size of atmospheric molecule is very small in comparison with the wavelength of white light. See here. So At daytime, shorter wavelength of blue to violet color are scattered more than the red and yellow color. Now this point is very much important. Shorter wavelength belongs to which color? Blue and violet color, and the longer wavelength which is related to red and yellow color. Now come towards the absorption process. What is absorption? Definition is given here. It is the process in which part of incident radiation is retained and converted into other form of energy is called as heat. See here, absorption means what? As we can say very frequently, absorb, that light gets absorbed, that liquid gets absorbed. Absorb means pull inside, we can say. So it is the process in which part of incident radiation is retained and converted into other form of energy such as heat. जैसे कि पानी को एब्सॉर्ब कर लिया मीन्स पानी पी लिया मीन्स पानी को अंदर खींचा, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एब्सॉर्प्शन. As solar radiation passes through atmosphere, gamma rays and X-rays are completely absorbed by ionosphere. What is ionosphere? We have studied earlier. Small amount of ultraviolet radiations are also absorbed by ionosphere. Remaining amount ultraviolet radiations are completely absorbed by ozone layer in stratosphere. As you have already studied before 2 or 3 lectures, you have already studied about the concept of ionosphere, then the stratosphere and all. So you will see this, and if you do not understood this, you can message me, you can call me for to clear your doubts. Infrared radiation which is emitted by earth is largely absorbed by carbon dioxide and water vapor present in the lower atmosphere. Now come towards the reflection property. When a part of incident radiation on striking a body turns into same area, reflection occurred. ये क्या है? जब इंसिडेंट रेडिएशन का सम पार्ट एक बॉडी के ऊपर इंसिडेंट होता है तो वही डायरेक्शन में मीन्स वही मीडियम में वो वापस भी जाता है, वो रे वापस भी जाता है. That is when part of incident radiation on striking a body turns into the same media known as reflection, or there is reflection occurred. Clouds are the most important reflectors. Now see, what is the example of reflector? Clouds that form in the sky are the most important reflectors. Their reflectivity depends on its thickness. On the Earth's surface, reflection depends on the type of the surface and angle of solar radiation to the surface. Now see, on the Earth's surface, reflection किसके ऊपर डिपेंड होता है? Reflection depends on the type of the surface or surface and the angle of solar radiation to the surface. Snow and dry sand are very good reflectors. Now these are the examples: cloud, then snow and dry sand are the good reflectors, while reflectivity from water surface depends upon the angle of solar radiation to the water surface. Now come towards the moisture. Water is only the substance that exists in all the 3 states, that is the solid, liquid and vapor state, gaseous state. While studying the role of water in meteorological process, it is important to know about the amount of water present out of its 3 states. In the given air parcel contains some amount of water vapor. Water vapor decreases with height. How water vapor decreases with height? With increasing height, the temperature also increases, and that's why water vapor decreases with height. temperature increases, and that's why water vapors decreases. Now moisture variable, how the moisture represents. It is in the form of vapor pressure. Water vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by water vapor molecule alone in a sample of air. It depends on the temperature as well as mass of water present. When water vapor mixes with the atmospheric gases, it exerts a pressure in all the directions similar to the other gases. This partial pressure is known as vapor pressure. So total atmospheric pressure is given by pressure of oxygen gas, oxygen molecule, plus pressure of nitrogen molecule, plus pressure of carbon dioxide, plus pressure of other gases, plus pressure of water H2O. Here P of H2O is known as vapor pressure, means all these gases are present in the air. So when we determine the vapor pressure formation occurs is due to the pressure of all the gases present in the air. Saturated water vapor. At the time of equilibrium, the number of molecules escaping evaporation, at the time of equilibrium, the number of molecules escaping, it means that the evaporation takes place from the liquid surface would equal to the number of vapor molecules recondensing to form a water molecule. The vapor pressure at this equilibrium stage is known as the saturation vapor pressure. Its value increases as temperature increases. At a given temperature, air holds only a particular amount of water vapor which is given by vapor pressure at that temperature. When air contains water vapor that it can hold to a maximum limit, it is called as saturated vapor pressure. Now mixing ratio. What is mixing ratio? It is the mass of water vapor per unit mass of dry air. It is the ratio of mass of water vapor and the mass of dry air. The saturation mixing ratio is maximum concentration of water vapor in a given mass of dry air. It depends on the temperature. Relative humidity. It is the ratio of actual amount of water vapor present in the given parcel of air to the amount that would be present at the time of saturation. See here relative humidity point. What is relative humidity? It is the ratio of actual amount of water vapor present in a given parcel of air to the amount that would be present at the time of saturation. So relative humidity, formula of relative humidity is given here, actual vapor pressure to the saturated vapor pressure. Now come towards dew point. It is that temperature at which parcel of air must be cooked to saturation. If air is cooled to reach saturation, if air is cooled to a dew point, condensation takes place. When cooling takes place on the solid surface such as on grass or roof car surface, that is the car top we can say. When cooking takes place, a solid surface such as on grass or roof car surface, that is car top surface, dew points form on the surface of the object. The air is cooled at dew point away from the surface of the earth. Condensation takes place as a cloud droplets. You should read it carefully. Now come towards cloud. What are the clouds? Clouds can be defined as the mass of small water droplets and ice particles suspending in the atmosphere. So what is cloud? The clouds can be defined as the small mass of small water droplets, or we can say ice particle suspending in the atmosphere. The size of droplets or ice particle is in the range of 20 to 60 microns. This point is very much important for fill in the blanks. Now the mechanisms that produce clouds One is the cloud produced by cooling and another is the cloud produced by mixing. Now come towards cloud produced by cooling. Warm air contains more water vapor than an equal mass of cold air. The cold air, while cooling below its dew point, produces cloud. See here, the cold air while cooling below its dew point we have discussed already in previous slide, to produce a cloud. Cloud contains large quantities of very small droplets or ice particles. When rising air cools to such an extent that it can no longer hold all the water within it, as water vapor, then cloud forms. The droplets may develop within the cloud under proper conditions and particle may grow. Thus, due to upward motion, there is a rapid cooling and large amount of condensation takes place in short interval of time. So thick precipitating clouds are always associated with upward motion in the atmosphere can produce clouds. Now here this point is related to the clouds produced due to mixing. Clouds are produced by mixing of two unsaturated air parcels of different temperatures and by mixing rations. Cloud can be formed by mixing the original parcel with warmer, more humid air. This can happen in nature when cold air flows over warmer water. As the cold, dry air is mixed with moist, warm air immediately in contact with the water and cloud form. These clouds are called as the sea smoke or steam fog. When hot, extremely moist air mixed with the cooler environmental air, cloud is formed. See the example. Let first parcel of air A have a temperature of -8 degree. I highlighted all the points here, and mixing ratios of 1.5 gram per kg. When this air parcel A is mixed with another air parcel B of equal mass but having temperature of 8 degree and mixing ratio of 7.5 gram per kg. So, after mixing the two air parcels A and B, the temperature of the mixture would be 0. Now see here, for first parcel temperature is -8 degree centigrade and for second is 8 degree centigrade. When it mixed with each other, what happened? This temperature gets neutralized and it becomes 0 degree centigrade. And the mixing ratio would be of 4.5 gram per kg. Now how to determine this mixing ratio? It is also by taking the average of first air parcel mixing ratio and second air parcel mixing ratio. So temperature and this is also same. If suppose the saturation mixing ratio is 3.9 gram per kg, then mixture of A and B would be super saturated. Now see, this value is given, standard value is given. If saturation mixing ratio is 3.9 gram per kg, then the mixture of A and B would be super saturated. So water droplets form and a cloud is created due to mixing of two initially unsaturated air parcels. So in this way, we come towards the end of this session and also to the end of this unit. In next lecture, we will see the questions regarding to this unit. Make a separate copy to solve question and you will show all of you show me your copy by unmuting the video. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe.